It's official, we're already halfway through the 2025 graduate recruitment cycle, and the question you have to ask yourself is, what have you accomplished in your job search so far? Have you made any progress towards the roles you want? Do you even remember your career goals? Here's a cold hard truth. If you can't point out at least 3 concrete actions you've taken towards securing your graduate role in 2025, I'm sorry to tell you, but you've most likely wasted the first half of your final year. If you're fine with 2025 being yet another year where you go without a role lined up, well then, you can just close out this video right now. But if you want to know how I went from a biomedical science student to a Big 4 analyst in just 60 days, you're the person I want to talk to today. Let me show you why you should even listen to me. While everyone was applying in September, October the year before, sending 150 applications and following traditional advice, I started applying in March, just 3 months before graduation. My 7th application submitted on the 27th of March to a Big 4 firm turned into an offer by June 9th. That's a total of 72 days, and it would have been under 60 if not for the high applicant volume. The easiest part is that I did this with a biomedical science degree, 0 corporate experience, no internships, and no technical background. Before I get into that, it's extremely important you understand this. If you've been following traditional career advice during 2025, you already lost multiple opportunities this year. And here's why I say that. Graduate recruitment game has completely changed. While everyone's focusing on grades, internships, and mass applications, I discovered something that changed everything about how to secure top corporate roles. So today, I'm going to show you what you need to know to start landing offers in 2025, so you finally stop missing opportunities when they present themselves. Now, another mistake people make is thinking they need to wait for the perfect moment to start applying. You need to focus on the elements that actually matter, the ones that actually determine your success. Think about that. I secured my Big 4 offer starting in March when everyone said it was too late. I was so confident in my approach that I actually withdrew from another Big 4 process and rejected a final round assessment center. Why? Because I understood something crucial about modern recruitment that most students completely miss. There's this principle called the 80-20 rule, and in graduate recruitment, 20% of what you do will create 80% of your success. What I found after analyzing hundreds of successful candidates is that the highest impact areas are completely different from what universities tell you to focus on. Let me break this down into 3 key principles that will completely change your approach. Principle number 1, modern positioning. Here's the deal. You have to stop trying to fit the traditional mold because these types of approaches more often than not hurt more than they help. First, because they put the perfect candidate on a pedestal, and whatever you put on a pedestal in life, you're psychologically telling yourself that you don't deserve to achieve such things. When I applied, I never once apologized for my biomedical degree or lack of internships. Instead, I positioned these as advantages. This isn't just positive thinking. It fundamentally changed how I presented myself in applications and interviews. Now we move on to principle 2, strategic application timing. Look, most people don't realize this, but timing isn't about when in the year you apply. It's about how you approach each stage. When I applied in March, everyone said I was too late. But here's what's interesting. While other candidates were rushing through applications, I took time to actually understand what firms were looking for. Let me break this down with a real example. My Big 4 application, the one that got me my offer, wasn't my first application. It was my 7th. I'd already learned from my first 6 applications exactly what worked and what didn't. This isn't about trial and error, it's about strategic learning. Next is principle 3, the modern assessment approach. Look, this is where most people completely miss the mark. They focus on memorizing case studies and practicing generic answers, but here's what actually works. Understanding the hidden evaluation criteria that firms don't tell you about. Now, depending on where you are in your journey, the roles you should apply for are different. Let me break this down even further based on where you are right now. If you're a 1st or 2nd year student and you have no professional experience, don't even look at the graduate roles yet. Here's what I would do instead. I'd focus on building what got me my offer. The ability to position any experience as relevant. While I was applying, I turned my biomedical degree into a consulting advantage. I showed how my lack of traditional experience gave me fresh perspectives. If you're in your final year or you're graduating soon, your strategy needs to be different. And I would focus on what I call the modern application framework, the exact approach that got me from application to offer in 60 days. Look, at the end of the day, getting into Big 4 isn't about having the perfect grades or coming from a target university anymore. I'm living proof. I got in with a 2-1 from a non-target uni, but I use these exact principles to stand out. The graduate recruitment game has fundamentally changed. You can either keep following outdated advice that doesn't even work anymore, or you can adapt to what's actually working in 2025. If you want more insights like this on modern graduate recruitment and the exact framework that I mentioned earlier, make sure you hit subscribe and drop a comment below with your biggest application challenge, and I'll show you exactly how to overcome it. Let's crack it together.